Right, for more on this, we're now joined on the line by South African Defence Union spokesperson Pikkie Greeff. Pikkie, a very good morning to you. We're hearing outrage coming through from the ANC. Monsieur Lekota agreeing to the sentiment. We heard just now from Zwelinzima Vavi as well. What do you think is going on here? The SANDF saying that they know nothing of this matter, but the truth is, for someone to land at the Air Force Base, someone had to have given the Gupta family permission.
Well, good morning. That is exactly the issue. The SANDF cannot deny complicitness to one certain extent, or to a certain extent, in this whole matter. The fact of the matter is military personnel, commanders, staff, etc. at the Waterkloof military base, their cooperation would be needed to pull off such an operation. That, of course, does not automatically imply that the SANDF gave the permission. What seems to be the issue here is that the permission was granted elsewhere, and the SANDF was merely forced to comply with it. This would explain the ferocious statements now coming from the ruling party, and of course the consistent denials by the SANDF in this matter. Obviously, someone somewhere took a decision which overruled the SANDF management.
You know, the truth of the matter is, we heard from Gupta from the ANC, and it's quite fascinating to see that the ruling party has come out in such strong force. But the truth is, government must have, someone, as you mentioned, given permission to the Gupta family, which means that we could actually see some kind of tension ensuing between the likes of the ANC, so Gupta and also the people that gave permission.
Well, there's obviously some tension here. I don't think that the Department of Defense nor the ruling party would be so adamant about permission not being granted and abuse taking place, which has taken place. Had it not been that certain individuals with some influence outside of the SANDF had simply overruled or seen it fit to overrule the SANDF in what is essentially a SANDF matter. And of course, it is completely unacceptable that private affairs are conducted at a military base at the taxpayer's expense.
Okay, Pikkie, when you look at what the Gupta family has said, they said that with regards to the Indian High Commission, they're the ones that put the request through and they were granted permission. And I suppose where it really gets difficult is that, yes, ministers landed on South African soil, but there were also other wedding guests on that aircraft, which complicates the matter.
Well, firstly, let's just deal with the issue of the alleged diplomatic personnel or the ministers on board this flight. They are in no way entitled to diplomatic status because they're not in this country for official government business. They're in this country for a private wedding party. Their guests that come with them are exactly the same, the only difference being that some are ministers and some are not. It's clear that the Waterkloof Airforce Base has been abused as the facility where there's also diplomatic transit facilities available, and that the rest of these guests came in under the guise of the politicians that were with them, even though the politicians or the diplomats that were there were seemingly granted the status erroneously.
Well, we know that it's a national key point, and some have already come out and said that this is a breach of national security. Pikkie, would you agree with this?
It is for sure a breach of national security. What we have here is a national key point. It's the key military facility, or one of the biggest military facilities, most important strategic military facilities in South Africa. This is where we transit our troops from when they go on deployment, their logistics and support and equipment, etc. If this facility is now being used willy-nilly and without the SANDF management's explicit permission and control over the matter, then obviously there's a security breach. We cannot allow that civilian matters be conducted on military facilities, especially not military facilities that is of such strategic importance to our security.
The truth is, I mean, Pikkie, if you say this is a breach of national security, someone in government obviously granted permission. So we actually granted permission for this aircraft to land. And we know that the defense minister is currently out of the country, so we're not hearing any news at this point from the defense ministry. We spoke to the SANDF yesterday. Still no word in terms of the detail as to how this happened. Pikkie, who do you think we should be hearing from government to explain this matter?
Oh, well, look, the presidency should actually come out as the commander-in-chief and as the person in charge of the entire cabinet and all these departments and come clean with South Africa and take the lead and tell us what is going on. Who granted the permission? Why was it granted? Why is it being denied by the Department of Defense? Once again, this is an epic communication bungle that's going on here from government side. And really the presidency needs to show leadership now and explain to the nation what is going on.
Pikkie, and in terms of recourse, what would you like to see happen once we do have all those details?
Well, obviously, firstly, the details must be made known. Secondly, then the legal basis upon which whoever gave the permission must be explained. And if there is no legal basis or it was erroneously given, then there should be harsh action against those officials. No matter what level they are at, they should be dismissed from the public service.
All right, Pikkie, thank you very much for joining us this Workers' Day and taking the time out on your public holiday to speak with us. Much appreciated for your time, and that was SANDU spokesperson Pikkie Greeff.
News that moves. eNCA.com.